Hello, and welcome to Let's Play with Dragonbait. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Endless Legend. It's very similar to Civ 5 from what I hear. I haven't actually played it, but I've showed this game to a couple of friends that have played it, and they said it is similar, but there are some other things this game lets you do that Civ doesn't. But if you enjoy any of these Empire-type building games, this one is definitely fun. It's a fantasy-themed game, so at first I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, because part of the fun I have in some of those civilization games is playing an existing civilization and basically rewriting history. But one thing that really caught me on this was that each one of these factions here has a special victory condition in which they have their own storyline, and if they beat their storyline before any of the other players meet a victory condition, they win the game. So I think that's the route I'd like to go for the purposes of this video. You've got kind of the typical balance of traits for the different civilizations, each one with different units they can make. I'm going to go with these guys because I think they look cool, and their personality kind of fits mine with a lot of exploration and lore and history and such. So we'll select them and we will start the game. I took the liberty of already setting, it's got most of the preset conditions that you can adjust in these types of games, such as world size, number of opponents, and all of that. And since that's pretty standard, I didn't want to waste any time filling or including that in the video. So I thought I'd just jump right to the gameplay because that is much more fun to watch. It's always more fun to watch someone else play a video game. Let's just face it. Or what's even more fun is watching someone play a game who's just watching the loading screen. Like that. I mean, look at me watch that. The first time, of course, it takes a lot longer as it generates the world and all of that. There's little bits of lore that flash here, but it doesn't flow evenly. It's not, the text isn't evenly paced because it's based on how much is loaded, so it kind of is a little disjointed to try to read. But it seems to be tied to the factions' creation myths of how the world got to be the way it was. All right, we are almost done, I think. There we go. Oh, psych. Oh, not quite. Oh, see, you thought we were done. We're just kidding. Oh, almost. Is it going to be loaded? Is it going to be loaded? Oh, almost there. Yes. There we go.
We have always been here. The Whispering Galleries have always held the memories of our people. Then they came, and they lifted us up. But they fought, and they fell. Our world was swept by cataclysm, and we were left alone. Still, we persevere, protect, and maintain, as we always have. We may lack their sight and their knowledge, but we can still read the omens. Another cataclysm is coming, and it is we, the Draken, who must save the world of Horringer.
And so each faction has its own custom cutscene like that about what their goals are, what they feel their place in the world is. So let's just start taking a look around at what we've got here. Okay, the interface is pretty slick, and rather than just go through what everything does, I'll kind of explain it as I go through and play the game. Here we have our starting army. Nice little dragon-looking guys whose names are cleverly Draken. That's a shocker. It totally wouldn't have guessed they'd be dragon-like. I'm going to hit this little button down here, which kind of shows the resource value of each tile. You can move around. There's like production value, which is these red ones, food value, which is the yellow weedy things, and then the swirly atomy bluey bits are your science and research bonuses for these tiles. So in Civ games how there's the ancient ruins that you can go or get hidden knowledge from villages and whatnot. Well, they're replaced by these glowy ruins here that you can send heroes or armies to explore. Sometimes they'll give you quests, sometimes they'll give you, some resources. But the first thing we want to do is find a place where we can call home. So I'm just going to kind of look around. There's certain, special tiles that have unique resources to them that we can eventually exploit as we unlock various technologies. I'm going to just right-click and move here a little bit. And this looks as good of any to place our capital. Whoosh. So there we've got our first city. We still have our hero and his 2 armies. Where is he? Somewhere. There we go. So here's our hero leading 2 infantry units. So we're going to have him just kind of go over here. I'm going to use up his movement, and then we'll look at the town and see, what else we want to do. Your efforts at this location was worth the effort. We got 70 dust. Dust is the primary currency in this world, along with, it's what you can use to buy out the rest of your buildings or army units similar to the Civ games. Alright, we're just going to have him explore a bit. Go this way. Oh, okay, we got a minor faction here, Sisters of Mercy. Now, we can send the hero over there to interact with them, but right now, because of our research up here, we do actually have the ability of Language Square. This allows us to learn the languages of other civilizations, and therefore I can negotiate with them. I don't have to attack them. So I'm going to send him on a diplomatic mission there to see if we can sucker them into being our friends. Alright. Now, the city. Up here we've got our our working population, I guess, and as it's a young city, food production's pretty important. As this starts filling up, I usually like to get buildings done faster because I like to build big cities, so I throw a lot of them here. And I'll show that when that happens. Me just moving my people around because they belong to me. Down here is the building panel. So I'm going to start and just build the Founders Memorial because I want everyone to remember how great I was. Alright, now we got these turn notifications over here that we want to deal with. And it talks about, we've encountered this new faction, Sisters of Mercy. Get a little bit of lore about them. The Sisters of Mercy are a small but respected nation, living simply through well in their solidly constructed towns. Oh, simply though well. Oh, I read good. Yeah. All right. A recent offshoot of humanoid people. There's blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, and then you can just click show location. We already know where that one was. You can right click to get rid of those two. So, we've encountered, a nice beastie looking race. The origin of the species are found in a pack of wolves that were driven into inhospitably high tundra after losing a series of fights with the Draken. Ooh, that's us. Infected by dust, their new form has rendered them indifferent to the coldest environments and seasons. That's the other thing. This dust that is the currency seems to be something that is a byproduct of the cataclysm that happened in this world, and a lot of people seem really addicted to it and the change that it can bring. Alright, so we've encountered the Empire of Egbu. We're gonna not really talk to people yet. Oh, and then there's these guys. They're kind of like the elven tree hugger types. And who else do we have? Oopsie. Just some... Alright, see, they're the Vaulters. Okay, yeah, they have an interesting storyline too. And again, each one of them has its own lore and story that you learn as you go through and play their campaigns like this. So it's not really just a good idea to pick the race that you like and always play them, but because otherwise you're not getting half as much information and story as you could be getting. Ooh, we've encountered these cuddly critters. And these combination of Green Giant and Pillsbury Doughboy guys. All right. So we've set. We got to set now a science to research for the next turn. They're divided into 4 different categories. So up here you got kind of the military options, science and technology, or science and industry, I should say, empire and expansion, and food and certain other resource production. So to start off with, I'm going to do a mill foundry so that we can start getting more production points. I'm sure everyone has their own little starting trend that they like to do, but that's mine. Deal with it. Alright. And that's pretty much the first turn. So we can kind of look here, see a summary of what we're getting from our empire. Later we'll be able to activate an empire plan. I'll go over that later. The right click button is nice. It always brings you back to this screen. So anytime you're in one of these menus, just right click and it comes back here. Or closes any dialog box, which I think is a very handy interface option. Alright, yeah, we don't really have much to look at here yet. I'll wait until we've got a lot more going on before we do that. Yeah, and don't really have anything to do with heroes yet. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. And what will the AI players do? Stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. Now we're starting to... We get our first quest from our faction, which explains a lot of the lore and what it is we have to do. So our objective is to level up 2 Drakenling units to their level 2. All your units and your heroes gain levels as they fight or get experience for things. She extends her wings, stretching her muscles. The gesture has replaced a simple smile, and she has learned during the trip that a Draken smile induces terror, not harmony on the Khagra continent. The city has been founded, and this is the first step of her duty responsibly executed. They are far from Drakenholm, but that, she believes, was the will of the 12. Wonder how many people there are in the 12. Had it been her sister, Panini, things would have been different. They would have halted a scant few days from Drakenholm. Panini would have been too concerned with the distance from tradition and not enough with the movement towards the future. The 12 were wise to choose Kangaroo first. And this is especially true now that the signs have changed so heavily in the air. Yep, so it's basically we've got this new ruler who's got a vision for the future. Why not? Let's see. What to make not just of the long winters and earthquakes, but also of something closer to home, the birth of those they call Drakelings. Why do the eggs that only ever produce Draken now produce these things? Why now? Why? Many confusing signs seem to appear and accelerate. Whatever the answer may be, it is certain that it involves change, and Panini is ill-equipped to deal with that. The first city beyond Drakenholm, it would be the hand extended to other peoples of Arugula. Arugula, that's what the planet will now be called. It is a difficult project, and Kangaroo fears that it will be perhaps too quickly show the strains that boy, I'm bad at this, that lie beneath the surface of their alternating diarchy. Regardless of her own worries, however, she will press on, not merely because it is the will of the 12, but also because it is the best hope for Arugula! So, yeah, this is where I can just hit right-click and it takes me back here. So now, we want to go level these guys up. Yeah, the 2 units here, what we have to level up to level 2 per the conditions of that quest. So we're going to go parley with these Sisters of Mercy. Oh, we found a new faction, too. Large and formidable multi-front Hydras, okay. Alright, cute, cute, cute. Alright, so now we got a quest because we went to parley with the Sisters of Mercy. Alright, we want to return to the village when we were ready to give them 50 dust, and they will be pacified. And if I have a city in their region, I can recruit them to join. And then start recruiting their units. I'm ready to give them the money, so we'll just do that right now. And then we explore. Okay. And we're still building. We got 4 more turns on the Founders Memorial. Everything looks grand and fine. At this point in a Civ game, this would be where I'd be set upon by barbarians because I leave my home so unprotected because I'm too interested in exploring the world. And then I'd get upset, and then I'd start over, and the same thing would happen. And, oh, what's this? Sisters of Mercy, another one. Let's go parley with them. Parley. Do I have to do something else? Oh, maybe I didn't have enough movement turns. You know, talking is tiring work. Alright, we got a research done of our mill foundry, so we will want to research something else for the sake of science. Alright, I'm going to probably do something that's a little agricultural so that we can start, or industrial, or science, I don't know, let's just research everything. Please come back. Oh, we already have a quest with these guys, huh? What is that quest? So we go here, take a look. You please assist her who told you actually need to... Oh, 5 titanium to the other... Oh, okay, so we had to bring 5 titanium to these sisters. We had to pay them to tell... Oh, wow. That's just backwards. That's why the Sisters of Mercy's economy is in the toity. So we're going to send our hero, Anarchist North Compass, down here. Alright, and so these are just the messages. We already know that we had completed the science, and we can just dismiss that. Our population here has grown to 2. So I'm going to increase production by moving this guy here. Let's see. Oops, what did I do? Okay. That doesn't really help much yet, but it will. Trust me on that. I'm King and Lord Mayor of the Dragon People. Okay. This indicates that our hero has leveled up, so we're going to want to inspect him. For each hero, there's a various tech tree of different traits that you can level him up. Class is everyone with his type of class across all races gets these. Common is something that every unit's going to get, regardless of class or race. And faction is what you get based on your faction. It can be very fascinating of what to try to level up. The first thing that I try to go for, though, is this that just grants passive XP per turn on units that are with him. So I try to go for that first, just to, you know, make the most of it. Now, let's search. We found nothing. Well, that was just a waste of time. You should be ashamed of yourself, Anarchist North Compass. Or Archivist, that's a real word. Alright, so we built the Founders Memorial. One thing I really like about this is that whenever something's completed, the windows pop up and I can just click on that and it will bring me to the area that needs attention. No trying to remember, okay, which one was that on this huge map, and you know, which cities are mine, and why are you killing me with that unit? Some weird things here. Ooh, look at all this pretty fertile land. One day this will all be yours. Oh, got a kind of a swampy bits and some minor village we can try to talk to and coerce into joining us. This game does have roaming bands of thugs and various things, just like the Civilization game. So you will get to see combat hopefully fairly soon. That is one big difference I heard between this and Civ 5 was the way combat worked. And I'm going pretty quickly through the technologies. I don't want to bore you by reading all of our choices and explaining my process of why I'm making the mistakes that I'm making. Alright. So if we gift 10 new wine to these people, they will join us. I don't know what the wine is laced with, but it's obviously glowing, and I probably wouldn't drink it. It could be like radium wine or something. Oop, encountered a new faction of Delvers. I just usually check these to make sure I've done everything I need to do. The other nice thing is if you haven't done something and you hit the end of turn, it will tell you, you know, your building queue is empty at this town, or you have heroes that still have movement speed. So it is a little bit forgiving that way. Let's go parlay. 10 titanium as well. Wow, these people are greedy. I need that titanium to build things. And on that topic of building things, we have completed construction. Let us build more, shall we? I'm going to build a library so we get some more science. That's always good. Now, on the topic of those other resources, one of the things that you're able to do as you get new unit types unlocked, you can create new versions of them. So right now, this normal foot soldier, I can select them. I can give a new name to whatever I want to call it, and as I unlock new types of resources and armor and weapons, I can equip them with that and start using them as a new unit to create. It's a lot of fun, a lot of customization. There's items that sometimes you can pick through quests that are exclusive, other times it's just generic ones. I'm going to exit this. You can actually, and I don't have access to it right now because I haven't researched it, there's a mercenary marketplace in which you can buy and sell heroes and units to make additional money, and it's really a neat dynamic that I haven't seen before. Alright, get us something good here. Come on. We're dragon people, for crying out loud. Dust. Alright. So yeah, in fact, I don't want to do it in case I was going to remove the building, but maybe if I did that, it would think I meant to do that and wouldn't tell me the queue's empty, and one thing would lead to another, and I'd be crying myself to sleep in my pillow. Alright, so I'm going to put another worker here under production, just because I want to, I want them slaving. We got to keep them hungry, otherwise they won't work. Got some geyser looking things over here. Cool. And of course the first few turns, you know, much doesn't happen. Takes a while to build up. Alright, we got some open pit mining's research, so now let's go. Oops. So I'm going to just click into there. Okay, so let's see. We got to start getting some of these fancy resources that people want. So these are some of the options that would let us research new weapons and armor that I could... oh, I said I wasn't going to explain these. Well, tough. So new weapons and armor, which I can use to upgrade my troops and start making the new ones. But until then, I think we're going to go with this, right? No, let's do a sewer system. Oh, oops. I right-clicked and got out of there. That's the other thing. You have to kind of be careful because you can select... let's say I just want to set all of my research and not have to do this. I can click successively and assign several. But I like to make it believe that I'm actually doing something each turn, so I'm going to pick my science myself, or each time. Alright. The other thing that we have is these borough streets, which expand our towns and start taking advantage of other resources nearby. As you can see, it's slowly pushes out there to these other areas. And then anytime I add a borough street, I could branch out farther and farther. And the best trick with that is to try to get things that have good key resources that might be lacking. And I can zoom up all the way here. I can see the whole, this blue area is this whole region. And I can only have one city in each region. And here is, the world is a continuous loop. So this is what we know so far. And I'm not sure why it automatically showed me all the other empires. It's not something that I've had in prior games. So it must have been a setting that I accidentally choose. Alright, there's a lot of wheat there. I could spread out to that. But I think I'm going to go this way. And actually, I'm going to cancel that because I want to start getting other things like... We'll do a mint first, and then next turn we'll start building settlers and branching out. Doopy doop 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 doop. This button here that I keep clicking, this cycles through any of your units that haven't taken a turn yet. It's a very handy way to find all of your units and make sure that they expend every effort for your empire that they can. This button here next to it, if I had a bunch of heroes and pre-planned their destinations, I could click, or not just heroes, sorry, army units. I could just click this button here and it will automatically start moving all of them to their destination. Up here you see this is the current quest that I have. I have that faction quest. I'm still, working towards leveling them up so that we can get our 15 emeralds and advance the story. So we will end our turn. Alright, empty construction queue. I'm going to build a settler because I want to start empiring. Search those runes. Okay. Ooh, there's some neat stuff there. Ooh, another faction. Or village. As we start getting more and more factions, or start meeting more and getting more quests completed, and we pacify them and we settle in their territories, down here we can start assimilating them into our empire, but we haven't really met any of the conditions to do that yet. You're limited to the number that you can assimilate, but there's research that you can do that unlocks more. And of course then there's the little statistics of how everyone's doing based on whatever the computer thinks is good. I know some people get really heavy into those statistics and try to plan everything out. I like flying by the seat of my pants and making a lot of mistakes and probably angering some people out there who are perfectionists in these sort of games, but I find that a bit too much for me. So this is that mercenary market I mentioned that I could make so I can start buying and selling heroes. I don't want to do that yet. I got too much on the home front I'm working on. Life's difficult. These ones that have the yellow around it are exclusive to your civilization that you pick. So, for instance, this one here is a flying unit that I could create research so that I could start building those in my army. And down here adds an extra assimilation slot so that I can start bringing in more yes men to my empire, which is what it's all about. Alright, free our people. Let my people go. So, they have some brothers that were imprisoned in a nearby region. We gotta find them, go attack the village, and rescue them. Ooh, we'll get some titanium that we can use to bribe the other people. Life is good. Okay. I should just kidnap them and pretend that another village did it, and then they'll pay us to bring them back. Well, we've already got them. That's a good idea. Alright, our hero leveled up again. Gonna inspect him. Like I said, gonna put it in here for some extra training. And sorry, occasionally I just check these to make sure how soon I want to go for them. Oops. Okay, a new an empire plan will be ready soon. I'll explain that once that's ready. And we've got our science going. I think we're good to end this turn.